Poppyseed. There have been many delights in the land of serendipity. Trees have sung in a gently blowing mountain breezes. Clouds have slipped across the skies, warming up early spring storms that sometimes blew down into the valley. All dressed in a mantle of snow, the early spring snows would dust the meadows with a blanket of white, sometimes tickling the nose of the bunny that scampered about, leaving footprints for others to follow. In this land of Serendipity's delights was a quaint little farm. White board fences bordered this farm to hold some creatures in and others out. When winter finally slipped away, clover flowers and daisies pop up their heads beneath the snow as if it welcomed spring. In the barnyard, ducks, geese, and old mother hens busily buzzed about, arranging the food for spring and maybe a picnic or two when summer came. Here was the once mighty horse, still mighty with the pride and memory, but long past the age of plowing and pulling. He too felt the call of the springtime breezes with their tease of things to come. But the best of the farm, and of all who live here, were the cows that mooed in the meadow. Big brown eyes blink and wander at the springtime meadow, for what had been fields of snow the day before were now beginning to bloom. They stood their great heads lifted high above the fence, sniffing the air and breathing all the newness about them. Then one by one, the cows marched to the meadow to taste firsthand the sweetness of spring. Of this herd, there was three a bit more special than the others. More special because the mother, Mary Ellen, and her father, Tinker, have calved a low winter child. Late winter calves are rare, for normally all calves are born in the middle of spring. They named the calf after the winter puppy they grew, and because he was but a child, they simply called him Poppyseed, the beginning of new flowers to come. Poppyseed had the best of everything, for being an only child in adulthood can be a wondrous blessing. The bulls would butt with him in great mock battles. The cows would laugh at his antics as he chased a butterfly on his tail, around and around like a whirling dervish. When Poppyseed got into trouble, the others never scolded or punished him. One day he tried to eat the greener grass that grew on the other side of the fence. Unable to clamber between the rails, he tried to climb over the top. As is always the case in these kinds of situations, he did nothing more than get stuck. Two of the bulls and three of the cows pull and tuck him. And with the thump, he was on the same side once again. But like all things, even the barnyard changes. With the warmth of spring and a promise of summer yet to come, the cow suddenly became edgy. Poppyseed had always been allowed to take lunch what he liked from any cow bearing milk, and this day he stopped, as he usually did, and began to sip a bit. But on this particular day, he was shooed away. Try though they might, none of the cows wished to share their milk. One of the cows, irritated by the incense, even flapped him in the face with her tail. Bawling, he ran about the meadow seeking his parents. "Oh, mother," he cried, "the cows will share their milk. Worst of all, they don't even want meat around." There, mooed his mother. "It isn't you, my little Poppyseed, for this is the time of the others." "Others?" asked Poppyseed, totally confused. "You mean to say that I am not the only one?" "Yes," said his father. "During late spring, the other babies will be calved, and then you will not be the only little one. You have brothers, sisters, and cousins galore." and the others came. That day and the next and the next, the meadow was filled with the sweet cries of newborn calves. Poppyseed looked on the wonder at this miracle birth. One moment there was one very fat cow, and the next there will be two cows, one a very tired mama and the other a wobbly-legged newborn calf. With the birth of the others came the great change in the meadow and the greater change in Poppyseed's life. Before he would spin around chasing butterflies on his tail, the herd will laugh at the antics, but now they paid him a little mind. In fact, they even called him a bother and told him to go away. It seemed that the little calves were more special. It seemed that they were all cuter than he was. One of the cows told him that he was an older brother now, not a baby, and that he should make himself useful and help out, not goof around. With his rebuff ring in his ear and a tear with the eye, Poppyseed wandered from the herd, which didn't even notice that he had walked away. It was then, in the confusion of the self-pity, that Poppyseed decided to run away. He clambered up the fence, and though he was stuck for the time, no bull or cow came to the rescue. "Silly cows," he grumbled as he picked him up out of the mud on the other side of the fence. "I don't need the old herd. I should become a horse and plow the fields. That will make me useful." Trotting from the meadow to the old sun-bleached barn, that he found the harness and a plow. Once there, Poppyseed pulled and tugged on the harness and ran until, with a crash, they fell about his neck. With the gear tangled and wrapped around him, there were no way for him to walk, let alone pull a plow. Luckily, the old farm horse found him in a mess that he made. Laughing, the old horse pulled the gear off Poppyseed's back. "Put that back!" cried the little calf. "If I am to become useful, I must carry the harness and learn to pull the plow." "And why?" asked the old horse. "Would you ever want to pull a plow?" It was then that Poppyseed, with tears in his eyes, told the old horse the story of the calving in the meadow. "Oh, little calf," consoled the old horse, "being a big brother isn't so bad. The little ones need to have bigger ones to look up to. They need to be shown what to eat and where to eat it, to be taught not to climb the fence. The little ones need an older brother to love." And this made little sense to Poppyseed. He only felt unwanted in the barn by the horse. Sadly, with head held low, he went back over the fence and into the meadow. It was there he had bumped quietly and innocently into one of the little calves who was trying to eat the weed. "Oh, don't eat that," Poppyseed sighed. "Weeds taste like dirt. Here, eat the clover and the grass. They are sweet to eat." He patiently showed the little calf all the sweets to eat, and it wasn't long before he was surrounded by a small herd of little ones looking up in admiration. Unlike the older cows, the little calves didn't need to tell him to be useful, for he was. And more than that, Poppyseed was loved for what he was, an older, bigger brother. If into your life the others can't come, brought to life by your father and mother, just remember the calf Poppyseed and how he became an older brother. The end.